Hi, welcome to Mini Meditation Monday. We are going to get started today in just a moment, but what I wanted to share is that I've been reflecting on how meditation is a solitary practice, right? And it can be super helpful. My intention a lot of times when I sit down to meditate is to feel more peaceful, to kind of come back home, to feel more centered and at ease and at peace. And it works for that. It can be great for that. And what I find, however, is that off of the metaphorical cushion, I continue to be reactive. And when things come up in relationships, um, some of the zen that I cultivate on the pillow, on the cushion, doesn't necessarily translate as well. So I've been reflecting on how to practice in a way, meditate in a way that those kind of skills, if you will, are a bit more transferable. And actually, a situation came up just this morning where I was inspired and I was able to put it into play. So let me tell you about that, and then I'll talk about how we are going to practice this. So I went for a run this morning, and um, I actually, at one point, I was listening to a podcast. I kind of looked down at my phone to change something, and at the same time, a dog ran up. There was this yard that there were three dogs in the yard, and a dog ran up to me. And so I don't know why I shared the part actually about me looking down at my phone, because it wasn't so much about that, but it did kind of scare me because I didn't notice that the dog was running up. Anyhow, um, so one of the three dogs, kind of jumped at me and bit my leg, and it wasn't bad. And I kind of just, the owner was kind of like trying to reel them back in, but she didn't see it. And so I kept going along. And then I had a flash of, I don't want to scold this owner, but she should know. She should know that this happened. So I went back and I said, I want to let you know I'm fine, but that dog did bite me. And so just so you're aware, in case some kids are coming by or something, just watch him. And she she kind of just looked at the dog, and I don't know, Fido, whatever she called the dog, Barney or something. It was like kind of like Barney or something, but like didn't look at me at all or apologize to me or anything for me. And I admittedly went to her saying, I'm fine. It's okay. But I still found I was really put off that she didn't apologize to me. Um, and so I kind of made some comment, passive aggressive comment, to be honest, about how, but don't worry about me, I'm fine, and just kind of took off running. And as I was running along after that, I was realizing how infuriated I was that she didn't acknowledge that this happened to me. And I ended up sitting down for a moment, and I put into practice what we'll do in a second, which was I just took a pause. I stopped and I checked in. And a lot of times that's in a very physical way, right? I noticed all the tension that I felt. There was like a clinging in my mind to, this happening to me, and a tension and tightening in my body. I softened. So I consciously released some of that tension. And then I kind of just gently kept saying to myself, allow, allow, as a way to not resist anything, any of the feelings that were coming up. I wanted to, on some level, I want to be better than being passive aggressive to this person. I want to be better than, um, I don't know, than being reactive in any way. And, so I just kind of let all of this anger and a little bit of shame and all of this stuff, all these feelings, it felt like toxins coming up within me, like all this like nasty stuff, let it come up. And I did it just for a few moments. And then it seems like I was done, I guess. And I also just needed to go. I got up and just kind of kept moving along. But it seemed like a better way to handle it than what would often be my next mindless response. Like after being passive aggressive, my next mindless response would probably be to lash out at someone else or like call my husband and rage about, like, can you believe this happened? And, having sat and done that, it's kind of like it worked through me. Now I don't need to rage at anyone. Um, and actually, I think that that wasn't ideal the way that the lady handled it, but I also have some compassion for her. She has her hands full, and hopefully now she's aware of the situation so this won't happen to somebody else, or God forbid, a little kid that happens to go running by. So, what I'd like to do in the practice today is to work on this, to work on cultivating that inner peace that can feel so good, that I think is the reason why, in a sense, a lot of us sit down on the cushion in the first place, while also more consciously churning up some of these skills that can help us in the real world too. And I think it comes up with other people probably most. So let's take a few moments to do that. Okay. Well, we're going to take that pause, we'll check in, we'll soften, and we'll just allow what's there. Like nothing is forced out. We allow the feelings, we allow, and you just stay as checked into the sensation in your body and as attuned to that mental kind of repetition of allow, not forcing anything away, but staying kind of centered and like concentrated in on those things. Okay, let's get started. Get in your position. Close your eyes if that works for you. You can be in a chair, you could be on the floor, you could lie down. And here's where we're pausing. The pause is such a beautiful and probably underappreciated power. You stop anytime, anywhere, check in. Check in with the feeling in your body, and you may notice that there's some tightness, some holding. And so let there be sort of like a holistic, like from head to toe, maybe even like in a mental sense too, softening. Soften, and some of the hot spots of tension tends to creep up. So in the top of your head, your forehead, soften, or in other words, relax in your jaw. Settle your shoulders. Not just the tops of your shoulders, but also deep into your shoulder blades. And even into your upper chest. So, kind of like moving through around your heart to your upper chest. Bring that softening energy to your low belly, soft belly. From your belly in both directions, your upper body down through your lower body. So, again, encompassing your whole body. Let there be a softness and, in other words, a sense of openness. Maintain that, stay connected with that physical sensation. And as you do, as you have paused, you have softened, You might gently repeat to yourself, allow, allow. And the purpose of the allow is to give your mind something to stay anchored to. And is somewhat of a reminder that your experience as it presents itself is completely welcome, is completely allowed. Moment by moment, it's okay. We let it all pass through as we stay present and soft, open in our bodies, grounded in the allow we repeat in our minds. We let it all unfold from there. So I give you a few moments to play with that on your own. Start to deepen your breath again. Open your eyes when you're ready. And take just a few more deep breaths as you come out of the meditation. I can think of one other example that this really came up in a major way for me recently. And it was in a disagreement with my husband. And I felt very strongly about one thing. He felt very strongly about the other, about something else. And we were just totally like this. And it was another moment that I remembered to do this. I remember to, it's even in the middle of the interaction, I paused, and so we're actually still sitting there with each other. We're still interacting, but inwardly, I was kind of taking a pause and I was checking in. Sometimes you can do it, I think, in the moment. Sometimes it's probably better not to. But in this experience, I did just check in the middle of things, and I softened. And again, I felt a lot of rage and a lot of really unpleasant stuff come up. And I did just allow it to come up. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what happened between us as this was arising within me. But I know that we found actually a creative solution to our problem, like something that neither of us thought was really a possibility in the beginning. We ended up uncovering together, basically as I was like relaxing and softening. I was in allowing my stuff to just kind of come up. It also made me more able to hear what he was saying. We kind of got down, we're able to hear each other more and boil it down to what do each of us need, and how can we create a situation where both of us are getting what we need, even if it looks kind of different from what we came into it thinking. So I hope that makes sense. But the point is, I think that this just very basic practice of pause, soften, allow is in many ways the essence of meditation. And I think the way that we did the meditation today, emphasizing just those things even a little bit more, I think and hope can be really helpful when we're with other people and in those frustrating or difficult moments. I hope that helps you in some way. Thank you for spending some time with me. Have a wonderful week. See you next time.